So over the past week, we have been hearing more and more reports about the United States and the UK potentially being targeted by Russia, and Russia using nuclear weapons to attack certain cities. So today I want to show you a list of some of the cities that here in the United States and in the UK we are now being warned about. Again, this is something that we've heard of before, but experts believe that there is heightened risks right now, especially leading into the next presidential election, which is going to happen on November 5th. So I'll break all that down in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. So could the United States be attacked by Russia? Well, yes, we could. Could the UK be attacked by Russia? Of course. But look at this. It says, terrifying World War III warning. As Putin crony lists the 7 UK locations Russia will nuke first. It says the Kremlin stooge launched a furious tirade against US plans to deploy its missiles to Germany. What are they talking about? Well, it's this right here. The US says it's going to put its new long-range strike missiles, including hypersonic weapons, in Germany. That's why Russia says, well, we could attack you. We could target you. Or they will just target the UK. Now, what you need to understand is that the United States has just announced these plans. Look at this. It says the U.S. has announced plans for the deployment of new long-range weapons to Germany in 2026. We're currently in 2024. We still have another 5 months left. So we're still potentially 18 months away from the U.S. sending new long-range weapons to Germany. And Russia is freaking out. Well, look at this. Here's what we know. We have an election coming up. And according to former President Donald Trump, he will push for a hasty peace in Ukraine if elected. That's what we know. According to former President Donald Trump, he has told the media, he's told other reporters as well, that he could end this war in 1 day. In 24 hours, he could end the war in Ukraine, but he would have to be president in order to do that. Now, I want to show you this list. Okay? First off, I want to show you where the United States could be targeted first, and then we will talk about what's going on in the UK. Look at this. It says selected potential targets of a Russian nuclear strike. Now, in yellow, okay, there's a few. There's yellow up here. This is a Jim Creek Naval Radio Station. This is a command and control site. Okay, yellow here. There's another one over here in Hawaii. I don't know how to say that. There's another one over here in Maryland, the Raven Rock Mountain Complex. Okay, I believe there's one right here as well. The Hill Air Force Base back behind there somewhere. There's another one. Now, here's the reason why these are so important. It's important because Russia knows where we have a lot of our nuclear missiles, where these 80-foot silos are actually at. It's not a secret, right? We've known this before. We have one here in Montana at the Malmstrom Air Force Base. Have one over here in North Dakota. There's, I believe, one down here in the Warren Air Force Base down here in Wyoming. There's another one, okay? The red is the military nuclear bases. Now, in blue on this list, these are major cities: San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego, okay, Las Vegas. We have Salt Lake City. We have Denver. We have Dallas-Fort Worth. We also have Houston. Up here, Chicago, Miami. We've got Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, and New York. Those are just some of the cities, but those are the main cities. You see, we don't have Seattle. We don't have Portland. We don't have Boise, right? We don't have Phoenix. Those aren't on the list. Those are not the major cities that Russia would likely target. Now, I want to read you this list, okay? In this list, these are the places that Russia could target in the UK. And again, this is to create the most harm. According to reports, what we know is that if this were to happen, we could see millions of people be impacted. Millions of people could lose their life. I think the latest number was like 30 million people. Look at this right here. This is a video simulation. It says, a video simulation of a nuclear war between NATO and Russia, made by researchers at Princeton University in 2019, estimates that some 34 million people would lose their life and another 91.5 million people would suffer casualties. That's severe. Now, I want to read you this list. Okay, here it is. It says, under attack, Washington has put not only London, but also Manchester, Birmingham, and the largest naval base, Devonport, the Clyde of Scotland, where the King stores his Trident nuclear missiles, and Portsmouth, as well as Chatham Dockyard in the county of Kent. Those are all at risk. Okay, those are the 7 locations in the UK. Now, why are we bringing this up right now? Well, it's because of the potential, the chance that we see former President Donald Trump actually become the next president of the United States. If this happens, Russia wants to be very clear, according to reports, Russia wants to be very clear that they have the ability to attack the UK and the United States. The United States, and especially former President Donald Trump, is not worried about Russia. Russia is not going to go to war with the United States, and nor does the U.S. want to go to war with Russia. What we do want to do is end this war between Russia and Ukraine. Now, how do we get this done? That's something that is really up for debate. They're currently discussing ceasefires. They're currently discussing ways to potentially pull out of this, right? To disengage. But how do we do that? Well, that's what we don't know. The hard part is former President Donald Trump and current President Joe Biden, they are campaigning to win this upcoming election. So neither one is really worried about what's going on in Russia, although current President Joe Biden should be. With that said, who wins the next election is going to pretty much decide how we move forward. The problem there is Russia does not want Joe Biden to be in office. They also don't want former President Donald Trump. Now, I want to show you one last thing. Okay? And I just want to read this to you. It says right here, the U.S. and Germany released a statement on Wednesday that the coming episodic deployments of the long-range fire capabilities of its multi-domain task force in Germany in 2026 as part of planning for enduring stationing of its capabilities in the future. Again, it's the future, not what's happening today. It's all about the future. It says the Allies wrote that these conventional long-range fires units will include SM-6 Tomahawks and developmental hypersonic weapons, which have significantly longer range than current land-based fires in Europe. That's why Russia is concerned, okay? Because of what the United States is trying to do with Germany, okay? An ally. So I don't know what direction we go over the next 4 months. What I do know is that when we vote and who we vote for, what Congress looks like, that's going to determine how serious Russia could be in the future. So we'll get more information on this as soon as possible. And as soon as we do, I promise I'll fill you in on all the latest news and updates. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.